April 16th, 2015, 10:40 a.m. calling the District 250 State Patrol.
Thank you for calling the West Metro Minnesota State Patrol, District 2500. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. The office hours are 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. To obtain a copy of an accident report, please call Driver and Vehicle Services Accident Records Section at 651-296-3279. For all other requests, press 1. State Patrol Sergeant Beasley.
Yes, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Super, can't complain on a beautiful overcast day like today.
Yeah.
So you're an investigator at the State Patrol?
I am.
You're Sergeant Beasley, you said? Dan
Yes,
Beasley? Okay. Document this on your...
The phone's cutting out, so I'm having a hard time hearing you.
I said is there some way to document this on the computer of the trooper to see if they're turning on their microphone or turning off their microphone during an incident?
It's documented on the squad video itself as to when the microphone is on and when it is off. Depends on the program you're using to watch that video.
Okay, well...
And troopers don't typically shut them off. It could be that it didn't get turned on, or any number of reasons happen why sometimes a microphone doesn't get turned on when their squad video is working.
Well, I do believe it's their job to gather evidence, right?
I'm sorry, what?
It's a trooper's job to gather evidence, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then any statement from the victim of an accident or the person who committed the accident would be evidence, correct?
It could be, but again, there's any number of reasons why a microphone may or may not have worked. It may have been bumped. You may have forgotten to turn it on. So, I mean, there's a lot of reasonable explanations when you're dealing with a situation like that, where a video might not have a portion of it audio recorded.
Okay, but I mean, you have... I would think that you should be able to fall back onto your training to turn on your microphone to make sure the microphone is working before you go to a scene of an accident, right?
Well, it's possible when she got out of her car, she thought she hit the button and it didn't, I don't know the circumstances. I mean, we can sit here and argue about it all the time, but what is it that I can do for you?
Well, I was just wondering, what kind of dash cam videos does your district use?
The name of the squad video?
Yeah, the
WatchGuard program.
Okay, a WatchGuard. Do you have supervisor settings on the WatchGuard? So you can set it to say when the microphone comes on or anything like that?
All of the cameras are set to indicate when different features are on. For example, lights, brakes, things like that. It could be, though, that unless you have the WatchGuard program, that you can't see those settings.
Okay.
So if in the lower left-hand corner you don't see a bar which has different letters on it, then that would be, a program that you're just maybe looking at it in a Windows Media Player or something else.
Yeah, that's actually what I am using is a Windows Media Player, so.
Yeah, so unless you've got the actual WatchGuard software to see, the different data like that, you may not be able to see that.
Okay, so in other words, on your version, say if you're watching the same video that I'm watching, you'd be able to tell whether she has the microphone activated or not then?
I believe that's correct, yep.
Okay. So, these microphones, these are wireless microphones. Does that sit in the car and it charges when the trooper's not there, or does the trooper take it into the station and set it into a charger there? How do you charge that microphone?
Well, sir, I don't have a camera in my car, and I don't have the WatchGuard software, so I'm not an expert on that camera.
Okay.
I believe that there's a charger in the car itself.
Okay. Okay.
And so if a trooper were in need of charging that, they would take that off of their belt and they would put that on the charger in their car.
Okay, so then it just stays in the car overnight, and when they come back to work, then it's charged up for them then, right?
That is a possibility. I can't guarantee you that that's 100% every time.
Okay. You mean because some don't charge up the microphone and then they aren't recording the next day? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, you're just not sure if that's the proper procedure.
I'm just not sure that, I mean, nothing is 100%. I mean, if a battery is defective, it could sit, it could be defective that day. It could go into a charger that night.
Okay.
And the trooper wouldn't know it possibly until the next day.
Okay. Okay.
Because batteries wear out and they no longer accept charges on occasion.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's also possible some of the troopers are issued chargers that are in their, station or in their residence or any number of things. But I think typically the camera chargers the camera microphones go into a charger when they're not working. I believe that's the normal procedure.
Okay, okay. So, in other words, say if there was a battery malfunction or their charger wasn't working properly, then they should be able to notice it the next time they watched a video on their WatchGuard software because they'd be able to see that the microphone didn't activate then?
Yeah, I don't think a lot of troopers sit there in their cars watching their videos. Most of them are out doing their job, and they would watch a video when they get called to court to watch a video, which may not be for a month or 2 months. We don't sit there and look back at everything we did and watch it on a camera on a regular basis. So.
Right. Well, I guess my question is, if there's a problem with the sound, I would think if they send it off to the prosecutor would say, hey, there's no sound on this. Why is that? So I would think that they would know before a month or something, right?
I would not guarantee that. I would not bet that at all. Prosecutor gets a video, they get a video, they send it through, they do what they can. Most prosecutors are not calling us to say, hey, there's something that I don't, agree with or, I don't understand on the video. Most of the time the videos are what the videos are. Okay. So,
well,
you're asking me to speculate and get into a lot of hypotheticals, and I feel like you're kind of setting me up for a court process here, sir.
No, I'm not a lawyer. I'll guarantee you that. I don't care for lawyers at all. But then anyhow, so the prosecutor, would they have your WatchGuard software? So
I'm sorry, sir. Your phone is breaking up really bad, and I'm catching about half of every other word.
Okay, sorry. Would the prosecutors have your WatchGuard software so they could see what was the same? So I'm sure they, so they could see exactly what the settings were and whatever?
I doubt it.
Okay.
I'm sure that software is fairly expensive to buy, and they probably don't have it. They just take our videos as they're sent, and most of them are in a WAV format or not a WAV format, sorry, in the format that can be played in the Windows Media Player.
Okay. So if there is a problem with their camera, do you have a special form you fill out? Say, my WatchGuard isn't working properly, or do you just tell that to your supervisor, or some paperwork you fill out, or?
I would assume that if there's a problem with the camera, they'd notify the administrative lieutenant who handles the vehicles.
Okay.
And try and make some arrangements to get it repaired.
Okay. So, do you have daily logs when you're, like say this stop here? Do you have a report on what you do every day?
No.
No? Well, how do you record what happens in one day?
We have computers in our cars that keep track of all the events that we're assigned to or create.
Okay, so every call logs you in to what you're doing?
Everything that we do is dispatched and is logged into a system. So I don't know, our laptops in our cars keep track of the incidents that we are responding to and assigned to.
Okay, that makes sense. So then it's just a computer printout of what you did during the day then?
Well, I don't deal with a computer printout of, we don't print it out, no.
Well, what I'm saying is...
It's in the computer system.
Right. But if you wanted to look back, or say if you wanted to see what this trooper did on this day of this stop, you could look for everything that she did on that day, right?
There would be a log of an activity for that day, yeah.
Okay. And which would be on the computer?
In the computer system.
Okay.
So again, your phone is breaking up really bad, so I'm hoping I'm catching most of the words you're saying.
Yep, that's fine. Anyhow, well, think that pretty much answers all my questions, and I really do appreciate your time.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you. Bye now.
You